Hey, I'm Wanda Ott, the broker for Next Home 245, and I'm here today with our mascot, Luke. We're in the office today, and we're kind of doing things a little different because we're usually in a studio, so if you hear the phone ringing or cars going by, you'll know that's why. I want to talk today about one word that can change your life. A few years ago, a friend of mine introduced me to a book. It's called One Word That Will Change Your Life by John Gordon, Jimmy Page, and Dan Britton. And when she first gave the book to me, I was very skeptical. I was like, I'm not really into reading educational books. And by the way, since then, my focus has changed. But anyway, I read the book and I got to the end of the book. You're supposed to read it and keep in mind, say, what's one word that I can pick over the next year that will kind of focus my life on one certain thing. I got to the end of the book and I still didn't have a clue. But as the days went on and I reflected on that, I did come up with a word, and my very first word was purpose. And her and I were working together as a team one at that time, and it just so happened that her word for the year was driven. And any of you that have ever read The Purpose-Driven Life, it kind of was then our focus for the year. Every year since then, all the agents and I, we read in my office. We read this book together, probably in October and November. The One Word book explains how to simplify your life and business by focusing on just one word for the entire year. It also explains how your one word will impact the 6 dimensions of your life: mental, physical, emotional, relational, spiritual, and financial. This is a great tool for individuals, companies, teams with companies, within companies, classrooms, etc. And we found it to be a great help to us every year in November. Like I said, we read it again. And the more that you read it every year, the quicker your word will come to you. This year, I didn't even have to read the book. I knew in October, I hadn't even read the book yet, and in October, I turned 60. Every milestone birthday is a time of reflection for me, and this year as I turned 60, I of course took some time and reflected on where I wanted to be with the rest of my life. And I came to the conclusion that I have too much stuff. I'm too busy for family and friends, for God, for doing the things that I love. And I decided that the word for the next year would be simplify. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, you'll know that I started a 60-day journal in October, and I took it through Christmas. And I started a blog journaling my quest to focus on simplifying my life in the next 60 days. Well, little did I know that it would take longer than 60 days to simplify my cluttered, messy life. During those 60 days, I started decluttering my house. I got rid of clothes I didn't wear, linens I'll never use, books I've read or will never read, and household items that I just don't need. I came up with the idea that I'm only going to purchase or keep things that I absolutely love or have sentimental value. I want to simplify my home so that it will be easier to maintain, so that I have more time to spend doing the things that I love. I also simplified my office. I put everything in one big pile and then sorted it. Filing, throw away, or put it in a labeled file for my to-do list. That took a huge load off of me. Just having things in an organized way just kind of decluttered my mind and made it more manageable. I also simplified my schedule. I'm learning to say no to things I really don't want or need to do. I figure at 60, it's time for me to say no to things I don't want to do. I find myself taking on too many projects and working long hours when I don't need to. Then my body gets tired and run down and I get sick. As a part of simplifying, I need to learn how to delegate or just to say no to taking on more projects. A major challenge during my 60 days of simplifying was Christmas. Saying no to party invitations is hard for me. And I love decorating. Anyone who's ever visited my home over Christmas usually calls it the Winter Wonderland because I totally transform my whole house into Christmas. I vowed to get rid of decorations that I didn't really love, but that is really a challenge for me. At the beginning of it, I said, well, I'll do it when I put things away. When I went to put them away, I hate to tell you this, but I didn't get rid of very much. But I don't think anybody's surprised by that. I also simplified my gift giving this year, which was very freeing and just reduced my stress level tremendously. What I thought would be a 60-day process is turning into a year-long process for me. Simplify will be my word for 2019. I want this to touch every area of my life: spiritual, financial, my health, and most importantly, my relationships. By making things simpler in my life, I hope to be free to spend more time doing the things I love, spending more time with family and friends, traveling, developing a deeper relationship with God, and becoming a healthier person. I love fresh starts. I love the beginning of a new year, a new month, a new week, and a new day. I think having a word to give your life focus helps tremendously. If you haven't picked a word for the year yet, I encourage you to pick a good one and make it work for you. Have a great 2019.